Hey you guys, and welcome back to Art a la Carte, and in this episode I'm going to show you how to draw one of my favorite fairies, Tinkerbell. For this drawing I'm going to start off my initial sketch with an HB pencil, which is a nice medium kind of lead. It's not too hard, not too soft, so it's going to give me a nice line, but it's going to be pretty easy to erase. So let's get started. This video is just going to show you how to draw her head. If you'd like to see a video on how to draw her whole body and everything, leave a request for that in the comment section below. Or if there's a Tinkerbell fairy that you'd like to see, maybe one from one of the movies, you can definitely put that request in the comments below as well. Now for her head, I'm going to go ahead and start off with a nice round circle, just like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and actually put in a box shape over top of that. I'm going to cut in right here, down just a little bit, and I'm going to go down just a little bit. And these are guidelines, so I'm going to erase these later, so I'm going to draw them nice and light. But her face is kind of boxy if you look at it. So just like this. So this kind of gives me a little bit more of an outline. The reason I put this is because I want her cheeks to really be full. And so by putting this box outline here, it's going to help me to remember to do that instead of just coming really smooth like I would on a normal person. I want to give her some really full cheeks. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring down a center line right down, smack down the middle. And this is going to tell me her direction where she's looking. So this line here is going to go right between the eyes, have an eye on each side. If you want her to be looking a little bit more to one side, you would just wrap this line down just a little bit to one side. And then, not exactly halfway across this circle, but down just a little bit from that, I'm going to put her eye line right there. Kind of just where the circle begins to taper in. So it's not at the fullest part, just down just a little bit from that. That's going to be where her eyes are. And I'm just going to indicate that by putting in two circles right here. And I'm going to have them pretty far apart, not super close together, maybe even a little bit wider than even a full eye length apart. And also not super big. In comparison to other Disney princesses, their eyes are really, really big. Tinkerbell's eyes, especially the more modern looking Tinkerbell from the actual Tinkerbell movies, her eyes are a little bit smaller than, say, the Peter Pan version, the original Tinkerbell. Alright, so coming down here and about halfway between this line and this line, I'm going to make her nose. I'm going to put that in with a very small little circle. She's going to have a little pixie nose. And I know what you're thinking, this does not look like Tinkerbell, but these guidelines are all really important to help us to kind of figure out the best way to draw her. So from here, I'm going to bring this nice curved line right down through here. Kind of following this angle out here, but just curving it in. Same thing over here, just curving this in. She does have a nice little point to her chin, but you just want to make sure to keep those nice full cheeks. She has those pouty cheeks right there. So once you have that in here, then this line right here becomes her mouth line, which I'm just going to indicate with just a little bit of a lip line where those two lips meet together. Now this is the point you kind of take a look at it and decide if you need to move everything around. I'm going to bring her eyes down just a little bit. They're a little bit high. I'm going to bring those down just a bit. Again, that's why we draw really, really lightly so that we can erase the lines that we don't need. Now once I get to this point, I'm actually going to go ahead and take my eraser and clean up the lines I don't need so that it's a little bit clearer for you guys to see what we're doing. So when you get done cleaning up, this is kind of what you should have kind of looking like here. So I'm going to work on her eyes a little bit, and the bottom part of her eyes are going to be really flat. They're nice, kind of a straight line. Her eyes are just really set into that. But from this corner, they're going to arch up into kind of this kind of nice round up to this point up here on both sides. So it's going to go up and around. And then this part here is going to arch really dramatically up and meet her. Not straight up, but kind of at a nice diagonal, and come up to meet her. Just like that. And just so that it kind of doesn't look so freaky, I'm going to go ahead and put her pupils and irises in. And the trick with that is you can go ahead and draw the iris to be larger and kind of covered up a little bit by the lids a little bit. So there's the iris, which is the color part of the eye. And then the pupil you want to have in the center of wherever the iris is. And then I'm also going to draw a shine line, or a shine mark, put those little circles in there for the shine. going to go ahead and etch in her eyebrows, which have a really nice arch. So they're not just straight up and down, you know, a little curve or straight across. They kind of go up and then over. Just a little bit like that. Okay, now we're going to look at her nose, and she has a very small nose, hence kind of a pixie nose. So in proportion to the rest of her face is much smaller. There we go. And then her mouth she has actually really thin lips. She doesn't have super full lips, so I'm just going to draw on the bottom lip here. And maybe just the hint of a top lip, but not much. And to give her that appearance of those full cheeks, I'm going to give her just some little dimples right there as the cheeks are kind of pudging out around the smile. I don't know, pudging isn't she'd get mad if I said that word. Ooh, don't tell her she's pudgy. Not pudgy. Alright, then before we go and start cleaning up, let's go ahead and get her bangs in here, and you'll see that she really starts to look like Tinkerbell now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this kind of upside down teardrop shape, which is going to be a little bit flatter at the top, kind of coming down, and then I'm just going to have a little bit of a tuft coming up from each side of that. And then I'm going to draw the hair actually poofing out along the sides here. And then maybe just a little hint of her pixie or fairy ear. So you don't want the top of her bangs to be really too poofy up. And then you're going to put a little bit of an indication of her little bun in the background right there. Then I'm going to go ahead and put her neck in there, and she's got a nice, very thin little neck. And so this is her kind of just really roughly sketched in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and clean up my lines, kind of darken in some things, and then we'll come in for some final details on her eyes. So I have my lines all cleaned up, and I went ahead and used a mechanical pencil for these lines. I enjoy using a mechanical pencil when I'm doing these kind of cleaned up lines because it gives me a really controlled, crisp, and even line. So let's look quickly at her eyes for a little bit of finishing detail. She has some really nice thick upper eyelashes, and so you're going to want to kind of draw those in. I might just draw the shape of them and first kind of cluster them together just a little bit first, and then draw them in. Instead of giving her individual eyelashes, you know, going through, it's going to give her a little bit more cartoony look by giving her more of a clumped look on her lashes. And then you want to give her just a little bit of an eyelid. So I'm going to come up through here and just extend this line up just a little bit to create that eyelid right there. With my pencil, I'm going to go ahead and darken in the pupils of her eyes. And there we go. Tinkerbell's eyeballs are just about done. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add her little hair tie that she has. A little black ribbon. There's a little bit of a bow right there, so I'm just going to kind of give it just a little indication of it hiding right back there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my other art videos. I have art videos and tutorials on tons of different topics. But really, you guys are the ones that help me to decide what topics to choose. And there's several ways that you guys do that. One is obviously by leaving requests and comments of what you would like to see in the comment section below. I try to do as many as I possibly can, and I generally try to take the most highly requested ones first and get those ones out there because it's the ones you guys want to see the most. And also I take from different kinds of themes that I do, styles of art tutorials that I do and really go with what seems to be most popular with you guys, which ones get the most views or comments or thumbs ups or shares. I know that if you guys are taking the time to watch these videos, to comment, to like, and especially to share these videos, that's something that's important to you. And so I really try to do a lot more of those types of videos. So if you like to see these kind of character tutorials, let me know by giving us a thumbs up, or letting me know in the comments, or especially by sharing this with your friends. The more people that see this, the more that I'm encouraged to do that type of video. So if there are past videos that you have enjoyed and you want to see more of those, go back and give it a rewatch, or share it on your social media sites to let me know that, hey, that's something I'm interested in seeing more of that. I know there are some that are just kind of staples that are always super popular. Horses, how to draw horse videos, how to draw dragon videos, how to draw wolf videos are seem to be like the top 3 most popular. But if there's other topics that you'd like to see, let me know. And as always, thank you guys so much for drawing with me. And until next time, God bless you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.